So speaking about things to do with women, Sam, I'm gonna throw out a name, and I want you to recount a tale for Steve and I, because Steve and I both know this tale. The popular city in England, Manchester. Does that ring a bell at all, Sam?
Yeah. I wonder what her name was. We just named her Manchester, right?
I think it was just Manchester because she was from Manchester.
She was from Manchester, yeah. Well, I think, how old was I? We would have been like 20. I was been 22, probably even younger, 21, 22, maybe 23, young. And I don't know how, we just randomly came up to like the house, and then we all went out to the clubs. We started partying, and it's the second quickest I have ever picked up a girl. I literally whispered in the ear, "Let's get out of here," and she was like, "Yep, let's go." And she grabbed my hand, and me being, tipsy, we went up to her hotel room where she was staying, and I'm not going to get into too much detail, but just put it this way, I was not buying what she was selling.
Well, we lost you
because let's go. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm in." So obviously, she was selling something you were liking.
Yeah, you were vibing at some stage, but we lost you. We went into Service Paradise, and all of a sudden we're like, "Where the hell is Sam?" And you wouldn't answer your phone. You wouldn't. There was no text messages. You just disappeared off the face of the earth.
I disappeared, and then let's just say,
you had to change your heart. You had to change your heart.
My heart changed real quick, and she was livid. Like, let's put it this way: she had said some abusive words that I'm not going to repeat. So anyway, walked out of there.
you finally get in contact with us, and you're like, "Oh man, you got to help me."
Lads, you guys won't believe what happened. None of you believed my story. You're like, "Yes, you did." And I was like, "Nah, dog." Anyway, only to realize I forgot my wallet and keys. Because I had driven the car. We had driven the car, and I forgot the wallet and keys, and I had to get her to take me back to her apartment to get the wallet and keys, and she was just not in a happy place. And she sat there on that. I remember she sat in the chair, and she's like, "I can't believe you've done this to me. You have embarrassed me in front of my friends," as I'm looking for the wallet. And I was like, "All right, well, thanks very much. I'll talk to you soon." And she just left. It was just terrible. So I've learned my lesson. Don't get too excited. Just any
wonders for some ladies is what you're saying.
Sorry?
Huh? Don't let clothes fool you.
Sorry, can you speak English? What was that?
What was that?
Do not let clothes fool you.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Is that what happened? Is that why you were a little bit? You felt like you were sold a lemon?
That's like my current apartment at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Look, man, she just wasn't wearing the right underwear, right? So.
Okay.
Not the ones that you normally wear.
Yeah.
But man, just put it this way: it just wasn't. I just said no. That's all I said. I just went, yeah, maybe this is not.
I fully sympathize with her. Why she'd be pissed off, but
she was not happy.
Rubs salt in the wound by you leaving all your belongings in her apartment and then being like,
she abused me because it took me about, I think it was like 15 minutes to look for my wallet. I couldn't find it. And she sat and abused me for 15 minutes straight. Just verbal abuse. And I couldn't say anything back because she was right. Like, she was absolutely correct.
Just there, you're like, yep, I'm a piece of shit. I know. I know it.
Yeah. I'm a dickhead. Like, I know you got excited. It didn't work out. So yeah. It is what it is. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I've been careful to. There's been a few times in my life. Yeah, a few times in my life where decisions have not been thought out. You just literally need to put a woman here and critical thinking.
Every time.
Every single time.
When you're like, oh, I'm seeing this girl, and I'm like, all right, man, like, just be careful. She works for you, like, that sort of thing. Let's, just my advice. And you're like, yeah, man, no worries. And then she buys you a dog, and then you're like,
yeah, that's right.
then you're like, and you call me up, and you're like, oh, she just bought me a dog, and I'm like, all right. And what was worse? Is it's not so much the fact that you speeded through these milestones really quickly, but that you introduced your dog to me with my own dog's name.
That's right.
And you're like, bro, check out this dog. Look at little Chino. And I'm like, mate, you do realize that it's been my dog's name for the last 12 years. And you're like, oh yeah, I wondered how I got that name.
That is true.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how
Well, let's talk about why that relationship broke up. Might be because you might have called her the wrong name in the bedroom.
I did.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
That's the cardinal sin. That's the cardinal sin.
Oh my goodness, that's so true. I forgot that. Yes, the ultimate. Oh my goodness.
To be fair,
I called her.
She looked like a Rachel. She did.
I called her Rachel.
Did you even know Rachel at the time?
No, you know Rachel.
Just called you.
You look like a Rachel.
You look like
you know what it is, right? I didn't even. You see, here's the thing. I didn't even save myself, right? Because I could have said, "Oh nah," I said "babe," and I was like, "Rachel." That's what I said. She's butt naked, right? She's butt naked, and I'm like, oh, Rachel, and she's like, what? I didn't even say like, babe. I just went, Rachel. Who says that? Rachel.
What are you doing with your hand?
I don't know.
Rachel.
Look, I'm in my moment, man. I'm in my moment because I completely forgot that happened, bro. And she lost it. It was that's one of the most humiliating things. It's probably it's funny, but it's one of the most humiliating. And then the same night, you know what I tried to do? You know what I tried to do to like save it, to try and save it? So I was like, on the way home, I was like, I told her that I loved her, even though I didn't. I told her that I loved it to try and save. Try and compensate what I've just done.
Oh man,
home, I was like, guess what, babe? I absolutely love you. And she's like, what? You just called me Rachel. And I was like, look, man, I'm trying here, man. I'm trying, man. What do you want me to do? It was horrendous, man. Bro. And I didn't know Rachel, like, because she was like, who's Rachel? And I was like, I don't know. She's like, who is Rachel? Are you cheating on me? I was like, you have seen me every day for the past 3 months. She was like, well, what happens when you drop me home at nighttime? And I was like, I go to my bed. So yeah, that's
just dreaming of Rachel, huh?
Yeah, I've never
made
that mistake.
I said that the other day as well.
Rachel?
No, I called another girl's name, and they're like, who? And I was like, I was talking about my friend over there on the TV show. And she's like, oh, and I was like, oh,
you know what you are? You're a Gold Coast guy.
I'm not a Gold Coast guy at all, man. I'm not. I'm just in certain situations a little slow. I'm
gonna save that little clip. I'm just in certain situations a little slow.
I'm just in certain situations a little slow.
Oh.
I don't know. It's a part of me that's just a bit weird.
It's good.
You know, we have quirky things about you.
You have some quirky things about you, buddy.
Yeah, let's not get into that. This is not what this episode is
This
about.
this is not the.
This is
the
not what
forum.
that episode is about. No, we will not talk about my quirky shit tonight. So, but yeah, anyway, that's my
Is that for your new OnlyFans? No jokes.
Man, if you think about it, man, I reckon I could have made a lot of money off OnlyFans.
You still can, mate. Future is bright.
No, I reckon I
Yeah.
could.
2020, the year to do new things, mate. We're doing a podcast. That's the next step for you, buddy. Showing pictures of your feet.
Mm.
Dude, people are into that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
My little toes. What about if I was cutting my little toes with nails, bro? It's disgusting. Man.
It's so weird, bro. All right, let's get back. I remember, Sam, you mentioned something about a topic with or about a story with you and Steve.
When we were a little bit so when we used to live in England, it was in time we used to live in England, and me and Stevie, if we could, we always played football. If we couldn't play football, we were doing something that looked like playing football. But this time, we were throwing stones over the back of the house. So each of us would get a stone and see if we could get it over the house. So that's what we would do. Anyway, I missed through mine, and it hit his window and broke the glass. Right? So I was like, Stevie, how are you? Stevie, don't tell mom and dad. Don't tell mom and dad. Don't tell mom and dad. So nothing happened.
The
And
reason
then
why
mom
it was
and
so
dad-
bad. The reason why it was so bad is because, mum or dad, can't remember which one, had just come out and said, "Don't throw
don't throw the
stones
stones
over the house."
over the house. And the
That was
next
why it
stone I
worked.
threw. Yeah, and the next the stone I threw.
Went through my bedroom window.
Get through his bedroom window. So I was like, Stevie, you gotta quickly go upstairs and get the stone. So he went upstairs and he got the stone and came back outside. Anyway, we were outside waiting because we're waiting for the parents to come because we'd go out as a family. And who noticed it? Was it mom or dad? I think it was mom, who noticed the glass was broken. And she's like, Lord Jesus, look at the window. And I was like,
She sounds exactly like mum. Yeah.
But anyway, so she was like, who did this? And I was like, I don't know, it must have been a bird. And they're like, oh, it must have been a bird. And it's like, maybe those hooligans. And mom always thinks it's hooligans.
Always.
So I always think it's hooligans or some idiots, some idiots across the street just throwing stones. Like these stupid kids, like how dare they do this to like, I can't believe they would choose our house. And it was like, I was like, Stevie, you gotta keep this on the low. Anyway, for months, Stevie slept in sub-zero.
Because dad, they knew that it was us that broke the window. So they were like, well, until somebody owns up, why would I fix it? And I was like, right.
Yeah.
So I battled winters with a hole in the window.
The whole window. I said no, got nothing to do with me because it wasn't my issue. That's how I got away with it. Anyway, one day me and Steve had a massive fight. And it was like in front of
It's like 6 months on.
6 months on, it was a huge fight, massive fight in front of mom and dad, like a massive, almost coming to fist and blows. And Stevie was like, well, you know what? Since we're on the subject, mom and dad, it wasn't a bird or hooligans. It was Sam who threw the stone in the window. So there it is.
Mic drop. There's like,
yeah. And I was sitting here
That's
like,
what happened.
I got grounded for like 6 months. Couldn't go nowhere. So that's my story. It's happened a heap of times, like where I've like bet Steven and baited him. Try to bait Steven and comes back. Like, you know that time when we're on the train and we're going to church? Remember that time on the train we were going to church? And I was like, Stevie, you haven't brought your tie, I bet you £50. Or like $50. I bet you $50. You haven't got it. You haven't got it. You haven't got it. And then he just pulls it out like that. And I was like, crap. And I was taking up every excuse to get out of it. And mom was on Stevie's side. He's like, you see, now you've got to pay the £50. And I was like, I want 50 quid. What do you want me to do? Like, I want £50 to pay. I'm broke. You won't even give me a pound? Like, you know what I mean? Like, You know, or like the other time, like I get like sometimes I get like bullied into crap. Like there was one time like me and Fidel we went to Sunshine Coast with a few of our friends, and we always wanted to compete to be who was like the best dressed. And so we both came out with checkered shirts to go out clubbing. And Fidel bullied me into changing my shirt, right? Into changing my shirt so he could wear his new red and black checkered shirt because it was his fashion design. And I went off. I went off in my room almost in tears because I couldn't wear my checkered shirt. I had to wear a t-shirt and a cardigan, like a little cardigan t-shirt. And I was like, how is this supposed to pick up any women? I'm in a little cardigan in Sunshine Coast on a Friday night eating dinner. Fidel's wearing what I was like, Fidel, why can't we not wear the same things? Like, no, because we look the same. I was like, but we don't look the same. Because
Everything.
I'm black. I'm black. I'm wearing black and white. You're wearing red and black. And you're like, but no, it's checkered. We're both wearing checkered. And I'm like, but we don't look the same. Like we're different. And you're like, no, go change.
I remember I made you change once because I was ready. We were waiting on you. Haji was chilling because we were about to go out. And then you walked in and you were wearing the exact same outfit. And I mean, like this showed that we hung out too much because like everything was the same. So we had the red and black Supras with the double tags that we ordered from bloody Dr. J's because you couldn't get them in Australia. And then with the dark jeans with a white tee. And you know how we were always wearing those like the vests?
Oh, waistcoats. The
waistcoats,
yeah.
Waistcoats with the
Pandoras.
Yeah, like the necklace,
the Pandoras with the little Pandoras, like the Mickey Mouses, and then would have the colored necklace.
The Thomas Sabos. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Sabos. Yeah, that's
it. Yeah. And we wore exactly the same thing. And I was in my own house, and I'm like, no, man, you've got to go and change.
I take my waistcoat off. There's another time, right? Like where he dragged me out, right? So I went. Where did I go? It's just when I went on the scooter that day, and I went on a scooter today with like a bunch of our friends, and I crashed, and I had to go to hospital, and
and you had the help.
I had my back, I had skinned my back off, and it was bleeding with blood. Anyway, he was like, dude, we've got to go out. Like, and I was like, dude, I am in no condition to go out. I scared my back. And he dragged me out, and I was so tired. Nonetheless to say, I did well, I picked up. But anyway, this is what the embarrassing part is. I got angry because I came home. We both came back. I took my t-shirt off, and the back of my t-shirt was covered in complete pus and residue from the cut. And I was like, Fidel, I have been walking all around the clubs all night with this pus and residue for your benefit. You disgust me. And this is what he said. Well, you picked up. So thank me. That's what he said. So
you're welcome, Sam.
Yes, exactly. He said, you're welcome. And I was like, not again.
It wasn't my fault that you fell off your scooter. I'm glad I didn't come out on that day because it sounded very expensive.
Yeah, I didn't have to pay for any damages. Like I damaged my scooter.
Yeah, but didn't Sink get stung with the bill?
Sink got a tiny little scratch on his.
Yeah, and he got
like a $2,000. He got a $2,000 bill.
I remember getting the phone call because I was working, and I remember getting the phone call, and it's like, yeah, Sam's in hospital. He bloody came off the scooter.
Yeah. So Sink was like so mad. He was like, I can't believe Sam. He like threw his scooter in the sea. And he has got to pay nothing. I just fell off once with a little scratch. I've got to pay $2,000. I was like, look, man, Lord works in mysterious ways.
There's an interesting story that comes to mind that I want between you two, because I only caught the cusp of it once it was finished. But I remember coming back from I think I was coming out from Canberra or Townsville, and I was
Yeah.
staying with you, Sam, and we were in the car together, and you dropped the bomb telling me that your house was haunted.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear about that because I remember you explaining what happened,
Yeah.
and Steve had a feeling that it was haunted for ages and just didn't
Yeah.
say anything.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah,
knew
man.
it was.
So,
Like, it was
oh
always
man,
freezing cold.
that
No matter
house
what
was
the temperature
always
was,
cold.
on Sam's level, just on
Yeah.
Sam's level, which
Yeah, 'cause
which
it's like-
essentially should always be hotter because it's higher up.
Oh, rises, yeah.
Higher
But
up, but
no
it was
matter
never
no matter what time of day you went in that room, it was absolutely freezing.
absolutely freezing.
No matter how many times you closed the doors would be open. They would
Mm.
just fling open.
Yeah, there was one time.
The
for
light
example,
switches would turn on and off. It was nuts.
There's one time, and this is what scared me once, right? There's one time I was having I was being intimate with a girlfriend at the time, and the door slammed open and shut, and we both freaked out and fell on the floor, and I was pissed because I thought it was Steven playing a joke. I thought it was Steven and Sinker playing
That
a
would
joke.
have been a good joke.
And I walked outside and I was like, yeah, lads, what you doing? Like, you kind of be doing this when I'm out here doing my thing. You kind of be walking on the door. And they were like, what are you talking about? We've been sitting downstairs for the last 2 hours watching Walking Dead. We don't know what the hell is going on. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we didn't even know you were home. So they had no idea I was home because I'd parked my car in the garage, and I think Sinker had left his. Me and my girlfriend at the time had parked the 2 cars in the garage, and Sinker and you had left the car outside.
Yeah.
So nobody had any idea I was home because all the lights were off. So, and then what would happen too is like the wardrobe door wouldn't close. So I would try and close the door, and they'd have this massive wind gush come through, and I'd be pulling with all my strength, couldn't close the door. So anyway, we went on, at the time with my girlfriend, we went up to Noosa. We spent the weekend, and then we came back down. And we're talking about God and spirits and what she believes in and what that stuff. And she's like, "Oh yeah, there's a ghost in our bedroom." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Tell us that nice and early.
Nobody just says that. She's like, no, there's an actual ghost in our bedroom that sits in the corner by the TV and just stares at us every single night. It's harmless. It won't touch us, but it's scary. And I was like, because what would happen is it was right by the sliding door to go out onto the balcony. And we would always lock it. We'd always lock the door. And every single day we'd come home, it'd be unlocked and open. So we would be like, how in the world are we locking this door and it would be unlocked and open? Because it's just us. So anyway, I called Dad. I'll go back to the Gold Coast and I called Dad and I was like, Dad, go to the house and I want you to go upstairs to the bedroom and I want you to tell me if there is a spirit of any kind in the house. He started laughing. He's like, "Come on, son, man. Come on, you gotta be joking, man. You gotta be joking." I was like, "Dad, can you just please do this for me?" Anyway, he went in and did a stuff. He called me back. He was like, "Son, yeah, this isn't no joke.
You were joking.
This is for real." Because Dad is very he doesn't like to talk about this, but he used to do this kind of stuff back in his earlier day. And he was like, yep, I had to perform as we say
cleanse,
today, a cleanse or a ritual, as they say. And it was scary and dangerous. And he was like, even I got scared. And I was like, he's like, what? He's like, yeah, this thing wasn't a joke. He's like, this was for real. And that's the story of, and we had to deal with that for like the whole year because we would have that issue the whole year. Yeah, and then we cleansed it, and then
It was all good.
The whole. It was all he cleansed it.
Because we're driving back from Brisbane. You're telling me this, and I'm like, this better be fixed. Like, I am not ready. I am not equipped. I am not equipped. Not equipped to deal with this. I'm not equipped. I'm just saying, man. I came here to get away and have some time. I'm not ready to deal with some ghosts. Like,
it was, mate. It was honestly, it was the weirdest thing. Every time you'd go in that room, you'd be like, something's not right, and you'd feel off. You'd always feel off. You'd be like, what's going on in this room?
Sinker said it as well. He's like,
you always want to leave. Weird. Like, you get in, you get out. I just had this big view of the Gold Coast. It's all, you know what I mean?
Yeah, lovely room, yeah.
Back when he had money, and or he could get a loan, whichever one you call it, and and yeah, literally, it was
right there. Wop.
Yeah,
there's the bus.
It was just the worst thing. You know, honestly, you'd want to get in the house. You get in that level as well, especially that level. You get in that level, you'd be like, I'm in and I'm out. Let me go. Nah, I don't want to be here. It was always weird, yeah.
But after I'd left, after that, it was fine.
It was fine after that, yeah. You know,
no issue. And then we sold the house.
Yeah. Someone else to deal with it.
Sold the house, which is
exactly.
I'm glad I dodged that one. Is there any final stories? Steve, you got anything else to add, or?
Oh, man, I mean, the only one I can think of was going with Sinker. I was out with Sinker one night again. He just pulled me out one night, and he's like, "Oh, there's this one lass I'm thinking about." So I was like, "Okay, sweet." So I go out. Me and this other girl's friend were, you know, getting friendly, and it was good. But I had taken, no, listen. So we went out clubbing in Broadbeach, and I had taken a few days before this little thing that like cleanses your gut out, but it wasn't working. So I was like, I was drinking water and all sorts of stuff, and it wasn't working. So I was like, whatever, it'll be fine. Let me go out. So I went out today. Everything was wicked. Few drinkies, as you do. Bit of bosh, bit of party, bit of this.
Bit of bosh.
Bit of sweaty armpits, yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. You know how it is.
You've got sweaty armpits now.
I'm sweating right now, bro.
A little bit. Yeah.
Sweating right now, bro.
And
I'll put my aircon on.
So so we do that. We go back. We get in the car. I'm driving. We're like, sweet, let's pick up a McDonald's on the way home. Right. And so we do that. We just stop at the Broadbeach McDonald's. I have a sip of Fanta. So I got my usual McChicken, and then we're on the way home. Right. Me and this lass, Sigma and his chick that he was with. And we're on the way. Right. I take a sip of Fanta. It hits me like that. Like, so I'm coming. Like, I'm sitting in the car and I'm like, I've got to go to the toilet right now. And they're like, oh, that's right, you'll make it home. I was like, I need to pee right now. Obviously, I didn't need to pee, but I was like, I got to go. So we're driving. I'm like, I can't turn back. Couldn't go. So I was like, it's all right, we'll make it home. So I'm trying to push my way. And you know when you know you're about to explode, you're like, oh, crap. So I pull into the petrol station. I pull into one place and they said, no, I haven't got a toilet. Got in the car, went to another place, pulled in. I said, pal, petrol station at Packfair. I said, mate, need the toilet right now. This is not a drill. Need the toilet. And he's like, not a drill. He's like, sorry, it's only for staff. Well, mate, your staff's going to have a problem if you don't let me in the toilet right now. And he's like, nah, mate, I can only let staff in there. So I was like, okay, what do I do? So I had to go around the back of the petrol station, like take a dump on the tree at the back, right? And because it's like gut cleanser, it's like diarrhea, right? So it's just going through me. And I'm like, sweet, security. So I'm like, oh, crap, what do I do? I've got no toilet paper. Oh, crap. Then security guard walks around the corner.
What did he say?
He's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, mate, sorry, I was just taking a piss. And he's like, oh, okay, well, keep moving. And I was like, yeah, sorry, pal, gotta go. And like, just had to get back in the car and just kind of just be sitting, just kind of like, driving away, and I'm like, it's just a pee, guys, just a pee. Yeah.
Oh.
Because I wondered where you been for 20 minutes? I was like, I was peeing in the security guard, and I had to talk to him, and and yeah,
Oh, dear
that's the only kind of. I don't even know if it's funny or disgusting. To be honest.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Disgusting, man.
We're all at our moments. We're all at our moments, mate.
Oh man, there seems to be
I usually involve my gut.
there's a recurring theme in here with your gut.
Yeah. I haven't got the strongest of guts, no.
Oh man,
But,
Just young and dumb and just trying to find where we fit in the world, man. And you know, when you're young like that, you're just trying to
I mean, it's important. Well, it's important to have fun, isn't it? That's the main thing.
I'll tell you right now, adulting right now is not fun.
Yeah, adulting is not fun.
Yeah. Just be willing to laugh at yourself, which is good. We've had a good laugh today, lads.
No, it's good. It was a good little trip down memory lane, looking at some of the dumb stuff that we've done, and I'm sure there's plenty of dumb stuff that we're yet to complete. So no, thank you. Thanks for sharing, lads. Thanks for the laughs. It's my cheeks are sore, and I'm sure hopefully the audience can get a laugh out of that and get to know the inner working details of Steve's bowels at least.
Yeah, right.
By listening to this podcast, Steve, you got anything else to add?
No, that's it, lads. Always fun.
All right, like, subscribe, and tune in for the next episode.
Yeah, peace out.
Thank you. Bye, guys.